Okay. So first, let us look at a cascode current mirror. Okay, we have already seen cascode amplifiers. The purpose of having a cascode amplifier is to increase the gain of your common source stage. Okay, by cascading a common gate transistor to it. Okay, by doing that, you can actually improve the gain of the amplifier. Okay, by actually improving the output impedance of the amplifier. Right. So that was what cascode amplifiers were. Right. Now the same configuration can be done for cascode current mirrors also. Okay. So why we need to do this is okay, current mirror with improved performance. Okay, with improved performance. Okay, how do you improve the performance? One is by actually improving the accuracy of your current transfer ratio. Okay, improve accuracy of current transfer ratio. That is your I naught by I reference. Okay, if you look at MOSFETs, okay, current mirrors in a MOSFET, there the accuracy of your current transfer ratio is good, but when it comes to BJT, we see that there is a 2% error when it comes to this current transfer ratio. Right. So how do you reduce that error? Right. Second thing is increase output resistance. Okay, increase output resistance of current mirror. Okay, now why we need to actually increase the output resistance? See, there's something called loading effect coming into picture here. Okay, so more the output resistance, less the dependence of the output current depending on the output voltage. Right. Say for example, if I have this I reference here, okay, this I naught is the current which is flowing here. This is say R naught, this is RL. Okay, this is RL, and this is actually V naught. Okay, this I naught is a mirrored current of I reference. Okay, this R naught is the output resistance of current mirror. Okay, current mirror. RL is the load resistor. Okay, RL is a load resistor. So I can write V naught here as I naught into R naught parallel RL. Okay, so for a high value of R naught, I have a option to choose RL. I have a lot of options to choose RL. Okay, so if R naught is high, okay, so this V naught will depend on RL. Okay, it will depend on RL, right? So so by varying my RL values, I can choose my V naught value, right? But if R naught is a less value, V naught will not depend on RL much and will depend on R naught more, right? But so there I can't choose whichever. If my R naught is less and if my RL is more, right? So my V naught will be actually depending more on R naught rather than RL. So that will be actually a problem, right? So ideally speaking, R naught should be actually infinite, right? So V naught will be totally dependent on RL instead of R naught. Okay, so this is one. These are the two reasons why we need to look at current mirrors with improved performance. One is improve the accuracy of current transfer ratio. The second one is increase the output resistance. right? All right. Yeah. Now we'll be looking at. There are quite a few circuits here. Wilson circuit, Willard current sources. Okay. So first we'll look at a simple cascode MOS current mirror. Okay. So cascode MOS current mirror. MOS mirror. Right. We'll look at this. Then we'll replace that MOSFET with a BJT and we'll see what happens. Okay. So first the diagram. So this is VDD. This is I reference. This one goes to my MOSFETs. Both these MOSFETs are diode connected MOSFETs, means their gate and drain are shorted, right? So here I have another MOSFET, both of them are grounded. This one goes like this, this one goes to V0, and this is I0. Okay, so I'll call this Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Okay, impedance seen in this direction I will call it as R0. Okay, output impedance. Alright, so here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay, Q1 transistor, Q2 transistor, Q3, Q4 form the current mirror pairs. Okay, so Q1, Q2 and Q3, Q4 form the current mirror pair. Okay, then Q4 actually provides the bias voltage to the gate of Q1. If you look at this voltage of Q4 is actually provided to this voltage. Voltage at this point. Voltage at this point and this point are same, right? So Q4 provides bias voltage. When I say bias voltage, I mean gate voltage. Okay, to Q3 to Q1. No, not Q1, Q3. This voltage will be same as this voltage. Alright, so output resistance R0, you can write it as R03 plus the intrinsic gain of a transistor Q3 into R02, right? So you can write R0 as A03 times R02, which is R0 is equal to GM3 R03 times R02. Actually here A03 is 1 plus 1 plus GM3 plus GMB3 into R03. Okay, this is your actual A03, but we are simplifying it to GM3 into R03. So this is R03. Okay, here we are assuming that the impedance which are seen by Q1 and Q4, okay, these two transistors, okay, the impedance seen by these two transistors are very small. Okay, 1 by GM, basically they are, the impedances seen there are 1 by GM, okay, which is actually a small value, right? So the voltages, when the voltages seen here, impedances seen here are small, then the voltages across them also will be small. Okay, which makes gate voltages of Q2 and Q3, okay, gate voltages of Q2 and Q3 appear to be grounded. Okay, so the point here is impedances C nut just a minute. Impedances C nut Q1 and Q4 are 1 by gm, are in the order of 1 by gm, okay, which is a small value. So voltages across them would be small, okay, making gate voltages of Q2 and Q3 as grounded. Okay, they are not exactly grounded, they appear to be grounded. Okay, so but the problem with this circuit is if you look at Q3, okay, gate voltage at Q3, right, if for a normal current mirror, if I draw that normal current mirror like this, okay, this is V naught, this was like this was grounded, this was I naught, right. So this was VGS, okay, this is VDS, okay. So I can write V naught, which is VDS, okay, should be at least VGS minus VT, okay. Obviously all these transistors which we see here, all of them should be in saturation for your current mirror to work, but if they are not in saturation, it will not, there's no point in all of this, right. So here all the 4 transistors Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 should be in saturation only. So this is for a simple current mirror, okay, simple current mirror. So the output which you see, right, should be at least VGS minus VT for this to actually be in saturation. But if you take a cascode current mirror, if I take a cascode current mirror, okay, so I have I naught here, this is V naught, here I have, remember this one is Q3, then here I have another MOSFET which is Q2, okay, and this was V naught, this is grounded. So here this this V naught which you see, okay, it will not simply take VGS minus VT, right. See this, if you take this value, here is this one, I'll copy the whole diagram here, then I hope you will understand that. Copy this entire thing. Okay, this is your cascode current mirror. Right, so in this, this. I don't need all this. Okay. So in this, if you calculate the gate voltage at Q3, okay, which is actually this voltage plus this voltage, right? So this voltage is same as this voltage. This voltage which you see here, that is same as this voltage, because gate and drain are shorted. Okay, so here gate of Q3 will be, I'll call it as VGS3. Okay, it will be actually VGS of 4 plus VGS of 1. All right, obviously. All right, so if I assume all my transistors to be equivalent or to be identical, then this will be 2 VGS. Okay, right. So the drain voltage of Q3 should be at least 2 VGS minus VT for Q3 to be in saturation. Q3 to be in saturation, right? So this is the key point here. Okay, instead of consuming only VGS minus VT, this cascode current mirror actually needs 2 VGS minus VT for Q3 to be in saturation. So it is actually drawing more power from the source, right? So this might not work well if your supply voltage is in the order of 1 volt or something, right? It is not very feasible in that. In that case, what shall we do? All right. So this is actually the drawback. Okay, this is the drawback of cascode mirror, cascode current mirror. All right, it needs a lot of voltage just to keep all the transistors in saturation region, right? I hope this is clear. Right. Next, we'll look at bipolar mirror with a base current compensation. Okay. See, bipolar mirror we have already seen. Right. We got this 2% error there in the current transfer ratio. Right. But what if I try and improve the accuracy? Okay. What if I try and improve the accuracy by making that ratio less dependent on beta? See, that formula which we got in the case of BJT current mirror was 1 by 1 plus 2 by beta, right? So that beta is the main player there. So if I somehow try to increase that beta value more and more, right, in that formula, right? So my overall ratio will actually come down. It will be less than 2%, right? So that we'll see now. So the advantage in our cascode mirror here is my R0 is now intrinsic gain times R02, right? So this is the advantage here. R out has increased significantly. Okay, so this is my advantage here. Disadvantage is it needs a lot of voltage for all the transistors to be maintained in saturation, right? So let us look at a bipolar mirror now. Bipolar mirror with base compensation. Right. So earlier I was talking about this circuit, right? This was VCC, this was I reference, then here I had a BJT like this, I had another BJT like this. Both these BJTs were grounded. Emitters were grounded. Common emitter. Right. So this is where V naught, I get V naught, and this is I naught, and this is what we have drawn like this. Okay, base and collector are shorted. This is Q1, this is Q2. Right, this is your normal bipolar current mirror. Right, so here we got I naught Q2. This is where we got I naught by I reference as 1 by 1 plus 2 by beta. Okay, so if beta is 100, this becomes 0.98. So that means it has an error ratio of 2%. Right. So how do I modify this circuit so that this ratio is less dependent on beta? Okay, so now it is dependent on beta. Okay, so this this formula which I have here, I have to modify it in such a way. This circuit I have to modify in such a way that this beta gets further increased. Okay, so we'll see that now. This circuit I need it now. Copy. So what I'll do now is, instead of giving this, I'll put another transistor here. This one goes to VCC. Right, so this I will call it as Q3. Okay, now the assumption you have to make here is assume Q2 and Q1 has same collector currents IC. Okay, so now you pay attention. So if this I naught, if this is IC and this is IC, okay, this is IC and this is IC, these two currents, the base currents, will be IC by beta. Correct? This will be IC by beta, because beta is IC is beta times IB. So IB is nothing but IC by beta. So the base currents will be IC by beta. So if you apply KCL at this point, this current will be 2 IC by beta. Right? This current will be 2 IC by beta. If your emitter current is 2 IC by beta, base current will be 2 IC by beta divided by beta plus 1. Okay, because we know that IC is beta times IB and IE is 1 plus beta times IB. Right. So from this I can write IB as base current as IC by beta. Here base current becomes IE by beta plus 1. Okay. So this is the idea here. So I have found this current, I have found the base current of Q1, Q3 I have found, IC I know. Now I can write I reference as IC plus base current of Q3, which is 2 IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta. All right. So this is what I reference is, and I naught will be same as IC. See here, I naught here will be same as IC. Okay, so I'm going to make use of this. I'll derive the ratio of I naught by I reference. All right. So I naught by I reference is equal to IC divided by IC into IC plus 2 IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta. Okay. So from this I can get 1 divided by 1 plus 2 by beta plus beta square. Okay. So from this you can write, obviously beta square is a larger value compared to beta. So beta I am going to neglect. Therefore I naught by I reference, I can write it as 1 by 1 plus 2 by beta square. Okay, 2 by beta square. So this is my formula. All right. So from this, what do you gather? Simple. If beta is 100, okay, if beta is 100, for example, then I naught by I reference will be actually 0.9998. Okay, this is nothing but 99.98%, which means the error percentage is now 0.02%. Okay, so the error percent is now 0.02%. In the case of this, okay, in the case of this bipolar current mirror without any base compensation, here my error percentage I can say is around 2%. Okay, that is if you substitute beta is equal to 100. Okay, so error percent here is 2%, but by adding Q3, here I am able to reduce it from 2% to 0.02%. Right. So this is the advantage here. So the advantage is this. This is my advantage. Okay. But what if this is my advantage, there has to be some drawbacks, right? So the drawback here is my output resistance is actually R naught 2. It is still R naught 2. It is not increased. The output resistance has not increased. Obviously, I have increased the accuracy of the current transfer ratio, but I have not increased the output resistance. That is, if you look here, here if you measure the output resistance R naught, that will be same as R naught 2. Right? R naught 2 is actually the, when you draw the output characteristics of Q2, that is IC versus VC, and in the saturation region, if you take the slope, right, you get some value, right, that the inverse of that slope is actually R naught 2. Same thing here in this circuit diagram also. If I measure R out here, that is same as R naught 2. So no change in output resistance. Okay, no change in output resistance. Okay, although the error ratio has decreased vastly, there is no change in output resistance, right? So now we'll look at another circuit okay, which is actually called a Wilson current mirror. Okay, now this was a circuit which was developed, which has both the advantages. Uh, it improves your current ratio, current transfer ratio, as well as your output impedance, right? So let's look at that circuit. Wilson current mirror. Wilson current mirror. Okay. So here this has the advantage of increases the current transfer ratio, or I should say accuracy. Increases the accuracy of the current transfer ratio. Current transfer ratio, and also increases the output resistance. Output resistance. Okay. Sorry. So if I'll draw the circuit, this is I reference. Also, before going to this point, another small thing I want to mention. This will drag it down. Here, see, in the above circuit, okay, with base compensation, you have I reference here, right? But instead of having this I reference, if I put a resistor there to actually control the I reference value, right? So that circuit, it will actually look like this. So here I have VCC, which goes to a resistor R, right? So here this goes to Q1, this is Q1, this is ground, then this goes to another transistor Q2, this is ground, this is V out, and this is I naught, right? So I have another base compensation transistor here. So this is given like this, and this is gone like this. Right. So if I have a resistor there, right, and the current flowing through that is I reference, right? If I use the KVL, right, it comes like this. This is VBE3, this is VBE1. Okay, VBE3 and VBE1. So here I can write using KVL. Using KVL, I can write VCC minus I reference into R minus VBE1 minus VBE3. VBE3 minus VBE1 equal to 0. So from this I can write R is equal to, or I reference is equal to, VCC minus VBE1, VBE3 minus VBE1 divided by R. Right. So by precisely controlling R value, you can control I reference value. Like I said, this R resistance is actually off chip. Okay, it is a very precisely controlled resistance, and it is off chip. Q1, Q2 and Q3 are all fabricated on chip. So whatever current is flowing through I reference, current flowing through R, which is I reference, that can be mirrored across at the collector of Q2. Okay, this is how you do it. So if you replace that current source here with a resistor, right? So this is what you get. right? So now back to Wilson mirror. So this was I reference. Then I have like this. This goes to another transistor. This is minus VEE. Okay, this one goes to, I have another transistor here. Like this. This is V naught and this is I naught. Okay, so this is Q2, Q1 and Q3. This I will call it as Q3. Alright, same thing here. Assume IC are equal for Q1 and Q2. For Q1 and Q2. Right. So pay attention. So here the current flowing is IC. Here the current flowing is also IC. Okay. A small correction. This is diode connected. Okay, it is diode connected. Okay, and push this a little. Draw it here, just in case. Okay, this one goes like this. Okay. Now this the collector current of Q2 is IC. This is collector current of Q1 is IC. Right. So this current has to be IC by beta. This current has to be IC by beta, which makes this current 2IC by beta. KCL. Okay, if you apply KCL at this point, that is what you get. Right. So current in this collector current of Q1 is IC, and this current which you see here, this is 2IC by beta, which makes this current, okay, if you apply KCL at this point, okay, this current is IC plus 2IC by beta, correct? Okay, so if the emitter, this is Q3, okay, so if the emitter current of Q3 is IC into 1 plus 2 by beta, then the base current will be IC plus 2IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta. Okay, so that is your base current now, base current of Q3, right? So from this I can write I reference as IC plus 2IC by beta divided by beta plus 1. This is my I reference. Okay, then what will be I naught? Right, here obviously I naught can't be IC. Okay, this is what I naught is. Right, so this I naught is nothing but a collector current of Q3. Right, so base current of Q3 I know, and now I need to find collector current of Q3. So if I multiply the base current with beta, I will get collector current. So this is IC plus 2IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta. If I multiply this whole thing is the base current. Okay, this whole thing is the base current. Okay, base current of Q3. If I multiply that with beta, that I will get I naught. Right. So start with collector currents of Q1 and Q2. From there you carry on. Okay. First, I'll repeat again. Collector currents of Q2 and Q1 are IC. From that, base currents of Q1 and Q2 will be IC by beta. So this current here will be 2IC by beta. Okay. So the emitter current of Q3 will be IC plus 2IC by beta. if the emitter current of Q3 is IC plus 2IC by beta, divide that with 1 beta plus 1, you should get the base current of Q3, which is IC plus 2IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta. Okay. This is the base current of Q3. From base current of Q3, get the collector of current of Q3 by multiplying the base current with beta. That will give you I naught. So, I naught here is IC plus 2IC by beta divided by 1 plus beta into beta. Okay. This is what you get. Right. So, it is a simple matter now. This is equation, say I will call this one, this is equation 2. So, equation 2 divided by 1. Okay. Yeah, 2 divided by 1. So, what will you get? You will get I naught by I ref. Okay. I naught by I ref, which is IC into 1 plus 2 by beta into beta divided by 1 plus beta whole divided by, I have taken IC common, that's all, 1 plus 2 by beta divided by 1 plus beta. Okay, from this IC will get cancelled. Right, this is beta plus 2 divided by 1 plus beta whole divided by 1 plus beta plus 2 plus beta divided by beta whole divided by 1 plus beta. Okay, so this 1 by beta, this 1 plus beta will get cancelled. Okay, so I naught, therefore I naught by ref, I reference is equal to 2 plus beta divided by 1 plus beta plus 1 plus 2 by beta, which actually gives you 2 plus beta divided by 2 plus beta plus 2 by beta. Okay. Therefore, I naught by I ref is equal to 1 by 1 plus 2 by beta divided by 2 plus beta. Okay. Now, if you bring that beta down to the denominator, you will get 2 beta plus beta square. Beta square is obviously much greater than 2 beta. So, this will actually turn out to be 1 by 1 plus 2 by beta square. Okay. This is your actual formula. Okay. So, obviously, here you can observe that error percentage is reduced. Okay, because of beta square. Okay, again, like I said, if you take beta to be 100, then that ratio will be 99.98%, right? So, that error percent is 0.02%. Okay, so this is okay, fine. So, one part of the Wilson circuit we have seen. We have seen that how how it actually improves the accuracy of the current transfer ratio. Next, we will see how it actually increases the resistance also, increases the output resistance also. That part we will see in the next class. We will stop now. Okay, I hope you have understood this. If you have any queries, you can get back to me. Right. So, with tomorrow's class, we will finish off module 4. Then we will move on to differential amplifiers in the module 5. Okay. All right then. Then if you have no queries, you can exit the chat.